And good evening, folks. We're back again just for a quick update, guys. Something crazy is going on. Obviously, the Iraq war's happening. They're attacking all their border countries. Anyone to do with the US, if you're in alliance with the US, if you're in alliance with the UK, Iran seems to be taking their missiles and firing them all over the place, guys. Obviously, we don't want to see war. We don't want to see people killed in the world. But this, I do believe, is all tied into the UFO topic, guys. I'm going to say it again, guys. Only a few years ago in Iran's parliament did they mention the agreement between NHI and humans. And they said, and from what I remember, they said that it was due to expire. And this was a few years ago, okay? The chap said it in a language that he didn't think anyone would understand, but there were translators in the room. Hence, I linked Iran to UFO tech. We've then since had Trump take power in America. He put a few holes into Iran, deep underground. He bragged about it, guys. You'll remember the news stories. He said that he took care of their nuclear arsenal, right? Their facilities. Here we are, a couple of months later, now saying that they've developed or will be developing weapons that could reach America. Therefore, they've had to go back in. Plus, apparently, the regime's killing all their people, right? With everything he's saying, good reason to go in. But is that actually what's happening? Was the first lot of bombings actually a nuclear facility, or was it an NHI facility underground? Don't need to get all conspiracy theory, but we're living a bloody lie anyway, right? So why not question everything? Look at this. And I just wanted to take you onto this. The Daily Mail has reported on this. Mysterious disappearance of UFO-linked Air Force general sparks nationwide search. Let's get into it. Curious Explorer says this. At Grok, didn't at least one other person at Wright-Patterson recently get murdered? Yes, in October 2025, a double murder / suicide at connected to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base killed 2 people. Jamie Pritchard strangled, and First Lieutenant, another Jamie, got shot by Jacob Pritchard, who then suicided. All 3 base employees in AFRL related roles. It was ruled a domestic incident with no UFO or broader conspiracy links reported. If there were a conspiracy within those murders that was related to UFOs, would they publish it? Of course not. It's a bloody secret. It's like everyone that's going, well, Trump doesn't know about UFOs because that's what he said. They're told to say that.
What these objects that seem to defy all laws of physics are.
Well, first of all, that's a legitimate question now.
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, that's what we're instructed to say.
He wouldn't be able to breach national security and breach the highest secrets and have no consequences, guys. This is why Obama got in trouble, because he said they were real, he just hadn't seen them. And that is a big statement to come from any politician that's led a country. They are real. They are. But they're not allowed to say it, guys. Okay? So, same thing applies. If there were reports of anything going on at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and these people died and it was linked to UFO tech, knowledge, whatever, maybe someone was going to blow a whistle, they're not going to tell you that. So, yes, very interesting. Coincidental? Yes, absolutely. During a time where all of this is kicking off. Appreciate it, Daily Mail, for reporting on it, because normally the press talk shit. So well done. All right, on to this one. Red Panda Koala says, Rep Eric Burleson has been granted permission by the White House to visit locations that might be housing UFOs and alien bodies. Let's check it out.
Objects, but what is reported is that we have a reverse engineering program that's called the Legacy Program of engineering craft that are of non-human intelligence. And so you can follow that rabbit hole. That's one of the things that I'm trying to track down. Have requested from the White House to go to these locations where people report that there's, like, whether it's a research center and they're reverse engineering, or where they've got a vehicle, or where they have bodies. I've requested to be able to go tour these facilities. Now,
you got approval?
The White House has no problem getting, saying yes. I mean, to me, whenever I made that request, they said, sure. Well, now I have to go through all the bureaucratic, channels, and we do have our first site visit scheduled at the end of this month. But yeah.
So all these programs in all of these sites are under the authority of Secretary Hegseth?
Yes. And within some of these sites, they are the Department of War, but also you may have intelligence agencies that are involved. Some of them, you have private companies that are on site. And so that's what I'm specifically trying to get to. That the rumors are that you've got, whether it's MITRE or EGG or it could be Northrop Grumman, Lockheed, Raytheon, you name it, that they have at least some components of craft that they're reverse engineering.
You can bet your ass they've got more than just some. If they're developing and working on this tech, then they've got the finished products, guys. Whether they let them out to the public or not, who knows? But we are breaking barriers, quite literally. Another thing I'll take from this interview as well, he seems to be getting no resistance from the White House. It's just, yes, approved. So essentially, and this is what I think, the people that are running the White House right now really don't know too much about what is and what isn't. They're looking for answers, and they're looking hard, and they're looking fast. If this guy's just getting approval like that, that would tell me that whoever's in charge really do need to find the answers. So yeah, this is obviously very, very deep, guys. Who do we trust? Who knows? But I do believe someone in America that led the country prior to Trump was aware, kept it secret, still keeping it secret, and there's always going to be people above them with higher clearance as well, higher than the president. I know, crazy, right? But that's what's happening. So guys, I don't know what else to really tell you other than the world's pretty screwed at the moment. There's a lot going on. I'm not too sure. I mean, I've always said expect things to get worse before they get better, because the pushback is a real thing, guys, and it comes in different shapes and forms, and it's never labelled. Okay, never labelled. So if there is a war going on, wouldn't surprise me at all if it's got anything to do with this. I know from experience, guys, and you know what? I'm going to just say it, because for some people that know me personally, you know I've already said this to you, but I had friends in the army, and they, I actually went army training with them for work experience back when I was at school, and it was at a point where we were really considering joining the army, and out of 10 of my friends, like 6 of them did. Luckily my old man said to me, do not join the army, you'll never fight for anything decent and worth fighting for. Likelihood is we'll never have a war anyway, right? So I went, you know what, fine, I get that. But then like 2 years into my friends joining the army, it all kicked off, right? And they got sent out to Afghanistan. One of my best mates, who I shared birthdays with, grew up with, worked with every weekend, really close friend, got sent out on the front line. I think he was 20 actually. Inexperienced, stood on a landmine, and that was it. His life was over. I found out because I got home from work and my dad pointed to the telly and said, that's your friend's name, isn't it? That's how I found out that he had perished from this earth. Okay. Why do I tell you this? Because a few years down the line, I got to catch up with some of my friends. I'm not going to say which area. I'm not going to say who it was. They turned around to me and they said very specifically, guys, and I'm not going to beat around the bush with my words here. They said very specifically that some units got sent in to rob and steal artifacts from museums. And this went on for as long as it needed to go on for before the war ended. They were not going to pull out until they got everything they needed, guys. What happened at the end of Biden's administration? He pulled out, and he did it in such a messy way, didn't he? He left hundreds of thousands of pieces of equipment just laying around. Why do you think that happened? They didn't give a shit about the money, the missiles, none of it. They got what they were after. And that secret, guys, that secret, and I might even get shut down for saying it. I don't care. I've lost one of my best mates because of this, right? That secret right there, it revolves around every single war. Honestly, all tucked behind closed doors. And look, whether prime ministers watching this in God knows how many different countries or presidents, you all going to say I'm mad, right? Let's be honest. You ain't got the clearance to know what I've just told you. That's the issue. You ain't got the clearance. So, guys, this is real. It's legit. It hits home with me because I've lost people over this. And it could have been me out there. We signed up to the army. I slept under the Severn Bridge in Wales that connects England and Wales together. We slept under that bridge for 2 weeks, considering whether we were going to join the army. And then I lost my mate over it. So, look, it's 100%, this is a serious thing. I will never ever tell his family what I think he died for out there, because they will just be heartbroken. They will be heartbroken, guys. It's as simple as that. This is the fucked up world we're living in. But guys, we do need your support. There is a reason why we do this. It's to make the world a better place, ultimately. Okay? That's why we do it. How can you help? How can you support the channel? How can you support me? Subscribe. That's free to do. Consider a membership. That's not free, but very, very cheap, and it helps me get by. Consider the Patreon as well. That's going to fund equipment and research. And if you can't do none of that, but you've got a phone and a camera in your hand, record the skies, get the evidence into me. UndercoverETUK@gmail.com. If you can do any of those things, guys, you're contributing to a better place. I promise you, we'll get there. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.